A significant shakeup hits the DC U.S. Attorney's Office. Its top prosecutor has resigned, leaving many questions unanswered about future cases. Sources confirm the resignation of the leading prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia, ending a notable career. The prominent criminal prosecutor in the DC U.S. Attorney's Office stepped down, leaving behind a legacy of successful prosecutions and unanswered questions. After years of service, the chief prosecutor of the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. tendered their resignation, effective immediately. Following a distinguished career, the highest-ranking prosecutor within the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office has resigned from their position. Shockwaves reverberate through the legal community following the sudden resignation of the top prosecutor in Washington, D.C.'s U.S. Attorney's Office. The U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. confirms the unexpected resignation of its chief prosecutor, leaving a critical vacancy in the office. A key figure in the fight against crime in D.C., the top prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office, has resigned, raising concerns. The departure of the top prosecutor from the U.S. Attorney's Office, D.C., marks a significant turning point for the office's operations. The highly respected chief prosecutor in the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office has resigned, leaving behind a void in leadership. Confirming earlier reports, the lead prosecutor of the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C., has submitted their resignation. In a surprising move, the U.S. Attorney's Office in D.C. announced the immediate resignation of their top-ranking criminal prosecutor. The most senior prosecutor within the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office has resigned, prompting speculation regarding future investigations. A long and successful career concludes. The leading prosecutor in the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office has resigned their post. The D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office experiences a significant leadership change with the resignation of its top criminal prosecutor. After many years dedicated to public service, the top prosecutor in the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office has chosen to resign. The top prosecutor for the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C., has resigned, leaving a void in prosecutorial leadership. News breaks of the resignation of the top-ranking prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office for the District of Columbia. Unexpectedly, the leading criminal prosecutor in the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office has tendered their resignation, effective immediately. The U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington, D.C., is facing a leadership void following the resignation of its chief prosecutor. With no explanation given, the top prosecutor in the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office surprisingly announced their resignation today. The prominent and highly successful prosecutor in the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office has stepped down from their position. A key member of the D.C. legal team, the top prosecutor in the U.S. Attorney's Office, has unexpectedly resigned their post. The esteemed chief prosecutor within the D.C. U.S. Attorney's Office has resigned, leaving colleagues and the public shocked.